was the real warrior, the T-Rex or a vegetarian? For too long, we believe a story told by Hollywood. We've seen the T-Rex, a snarling predator, and the Triceratops, a gentle giant, a passive victim in the saga of the tyrant Lizard King. But what if the greatest predator in history faced an opponent it could not simply overpower? A dinosaur so perfectly designed for defense that it became a living shield. A creature with an arsenal of deadly weapons and an intelligence to use them. Today on DinoT, we're going to change that narrative. We're not going to talk about a gentle giant. We're going to talk about the ultimate shield, the formidable warrior that fought T-Rex to a standstill and won. This is the real story of the Triceratops, a creature that was so much more than just a horned herbivore. We'll explore its astonishing anatomy, from its massive skull and powerful horns to its unique, flexible neck joint. We'll dive into the fossil record to uncover the evidence of its fierce battles and its surprising abilities. And we'll show you why this three-horned lizard was not just one of the most recognizable dinosaurs, but one of the last and most successful non-avian dinosaurs to ever walk the Earth. This was the late Cretaceous period, 69 and 66 million years ago, the twilight of the dinosaurs. Our destination is the floodplains and lowlands of what is now Western North America, encompassing modern-day Montana, Wyoming, the Dakotas, and parts of Canada. This was a time of immense change. The climate was warm and humid, a stark contrast to the world we know today. Swamps and wetlands dominated the landscape, crisscrossed by rivers and streams. These were not vast, open plains, but dense, fertile environments, a perfect paradise for a massive herbivore that needed to consume huge amounts of plant life to survive. But this paradise had a dark side. Sharing these same floodplains was a cast of formidable predators. The most famous, of course, was the Tyrannosaurus rex. A ruthless hunter that dominated the ecosystem. It was here, in this very environment, that the legendary rivalry between the king and the fortress was born. The fossil record tells us that Triceratops had a strong preference for this type of swampy habitat. Its fossilized footprints suggest that it rarely ventured far from its wetland home. This was its territory, its domain, a world of abundant food and familiar threats. It was the last stand of the non-avian dinosaurs, a final epic act before the curtain closed on their 165 million year reign. In this world, the Triceratops wasn't just another animal. It was a cornerstone of the ecosystem, a powerful and successful creature that held its own against the most fearsome predator in history. But how did it survive? How did a plant-eater thrive in a world ruled by the T-Rex? The answer lies in its astonishing anatomy, a body that was a marvel of defensive engineering. First, let's talk size. The Triceratops was a huge animal, reaching up to 30 feet, 9 meters long. It could weigh anywhere from 5 to 9 tons, a colossal mass of muscle and bone that was the equivalent of a modern-day rhinoceros, but on a much grander scale. Its most impressive feature, however, was its skull. This was no ordinary skull. It was one of the largest of any land animal. The largest known skull measured a staggering 8.2 feet, 2.5 meters, long, which is nearly 1/3 of the animal's entire body length. This single fact alone should tell you everything about the Triceratops' priorities. It was a walking, eating fortress, and its head was its ultimate weapon and shield. Now for its iconic defensive system. We have to talk about its horns and frill. Triceratops had 2 large horns above its eyes and a smaller one on its snout. The development of these horns is fascinating. Baby Triceratops had small horns that curved backward, but as they grew, those horns straightened out and grew to an impressive 3 feet long in adults. But the horns were only part of the story. The massive bony frill that extended from the back of its skull was truly its defining feature. This frill could be a formidable 6 feet wide. Scientists have long debated the purpose of this frill. Was it a defensive shield to protect its neck from a predator's bite? Was it for species identification, a way to tell a friend from a foe? Or was it a display for attracting a mate or showing dominance? The answer is likely all three. The frill also may have had a critical role in regulating body temperature, helping to stabilize brain temperature in harsh environments. The frill wasn't just a shield. It was a sophisticated piece of biological technology. But what about its skin? Fossilized skin impressions tell a story of an armored hide. The Triceratops had large scales, some up to 3.9 inches, 100 millimeters wide, with conical projections in the center. The skin on its frill was covered in smaller, polygonal scales. This tough, armored hide was almost certainly a defense against the bone-crushing jaws of a T-Rex, giving the Triceratops an extra layer of protection in a world of giants. Moving on to its unique abilities, let's look at its neck. The Triceratops had a unique ball-and-socket joint in its neck. This allowed its massive skull to swivel in almost any direction, a crucial advantage for both feeding on low-lying plants and for a life-or-death battle. Its neck was also supported by powerful muscles, which allowed it to use its head as a powerful weapon. And how did it eat? It wasn't a grazer like a cow. It had a deep, narrow beak that was perfect for grasping and plucking tough, fibrous plants like ferns and cycads. Its teeth were truly a marvel. The Triceratops had up to 432 to 800 teeth in its jaws, arranged in dental batteries. Only a fraction of these teeth were used at any given time, as they were constantly being replaced. These teeth were designed to shred tough plant material. Its sheer size meant it needed to consume a massive amount of vegetation every single day. What about its locomotion? For years, movies and illustrations showed the Triceratops with splayed-out, lizard-like legs. But modern research tells a different story. It stood with a straight-legged posture, much like a modern rhinoceros. While its legs were short, they were powerful. It was a quadrupedal animal, but it was capable of a surprisingly quick short sprint, up to 15 miles per hour, 25 kilometers per hour, a burst of speed that could be the difference between life and death. The Triceratops was a fascinating mix of a solitary animal and a social one. There is evidence it may have lived in herds, a defensive strategy that would have made it even more formidable against predators. All of these features, its horns, its frill, its powerful neck, and its armored skin, were not just for show. They were for survival. They were a testament to the power and resilience of this incredible herbivore. Now we arrive at the most legendary rivalry in all of prehistory. A clash of titans, a battle of brute force versus ultimate defense. For millions of years, the Triceratops and the Tyrannosaurus Rex lived side by side in the same ecosystem, a dance of predator and prey that shaped the very survival of both species. This wasn't a Hollywood fantasy. This was a deadly reality. The evidence of these brutal encounters is etched forever in the fossil record. Paleontologists have discovered Triceratops fossils with healed T-Rex bite marks on their frills and brow horns. Think about what that means. These weren't just passive animals getting killed. They were warriors who survived a direct attack from the most fearsome predator on Earth. They were fighting back, and they were winning. But how? How did a plant-eater stand a chance against the king of the carnivores? The answer lies in the incredible defensive system we've just explored. In a head-to-head fight, the Triceratops' posture was key. With its unique ball-and-socket neck joint, it could swivel its massive head in any direction, turning its entire body into a weapon. The two large brow horns were not just for show. They were a pair of lethal spears, and with a short, powerful charge, the Triceratops could impale its opponent. The massive bony frill was not just a display. It was a formidable defensive shield that protected the Triceratops's vulnerable neck. In a confrontation, the T-Rex would have been faced with a wall of bone, a near impenetrable shield that could deflect even the most powerful bite. Some paleontologists have even estimated that in a fight, a Triceratops could have had the upper hand, delivering a mortal wound to a Tyrannosaurus with its sharp horns. Of course, the T-Rex was no fool. It was a smart, strategic hunter, and Triceratops was a dangerous opponent. T-Rex likely won many of these battles, as evidenced by the discovery of T-Rex bite marks on the bones of Triceratops. In fact, one famous fossil even shows a Triceratops and a T-Rex that died together, possibly during a fierce struggle. This wasn't a rivalry of predator and easy prey. It was a battle between two of the most powerful and dangerous creatures to ever walk the planet. The Triceratops was more than just a meal. It was an equal. It was a challenge. And in this ancient, deadly dance, the Triceratops proved itself to be a true survivor, a formidable warrior that held its own against the king. And so, we come to the end of our journey. We've seen that the Triceratops was so much more than a simple, slow-moving herbivore. It was a true titan of the late Cretaceous, a powerful and successful animal that was a marvel of evolution. The Triceratops was one of the very last non-avian dinosaurs to walk the Earth before the Great Extinction event 66 million years ago. Its story is a testament to resilience, a powerful reminder that even in a world of giants, the shield can be just as legendary as the sword. Thanks for joining the DinoT family on this incredible journey. If you want to keep exploring the truth about prehistoric creatures, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. Speaking of movie monsters and incredible truths, next time on DinoT, we're taking on a venomous celebrity with a shocking secret, the Dilophosaurus.